Welcome back. We've having some good extensive conversation even when we go to break. Me and Willie still communicating and talking about things. I'm excited about who he is, what he has done, and what he has become. We have to look back, and a lot of times we may not understand why we go through what we go through, but in the process of life we'll understand that out of everything that we go through, it was for our good. We may not have seen it at that time, or we don't know why we go through what we go through, but everyone that's born in this life, the Lord has a plan and a purpose for their life. And a lot of time we have to go through things to line us up with the plan and purpose that God will have for our life. Because we don't know the direction that He wants us to go in. We may think we know,
right,
but the ultimate plan and purpose for our life, only God Himself knows. And that's why a lot of time, a lot of people wonder, why do I go through stuff? Why do I have to deal with that? Now there'll be some person out there, Willie, that will never do crack cocaine.
Right.
There'll be someone out there that'll never experience alcohol, but they'll have some problem or have some type of dilemma in their life. Because what we got to realize, the scripture said we was born in sin and shaping in iniquity. So therefore, in the process of us being born in this world of sin and shaping iniquity, there are a lot of things that's attached to us.
Right.
That's not necessarily God things.
Right.
That has to be torn off in the process of our life in order for us to fulfill a purpose that God called us to walk in. So that's why we have struggles and situations and circumstances in life, but it's only to grow us and mature us and make us a better person. Now, Willie, when you look back over your life, I know there are probably some things that you could probably say, well, I'd rather not had to have go through that or go through this, but in the process of when you look back, it has helped to shape you into the person that you are.
Yes, I can say that even the business that I have today, a lot of the experience that I receive and training that I receive came from multiple jobs, because I, being in an addictive, active addiction, should I say, being in active addiction it was very challenging to keep a job. So I had to be I had to be like this Renaissance man. I had to be a man of many trades so that I could go from one extreme to the next. If there was a job and I need to be able to do it. So through having to have different jobs, it's amazing when I look back over my story. Everything that I learned. Majority of the people that I associated with all gave me something. Okay? For example, the guy, I worked at a horse stable when I was really young, because that's where I was. That was the job that was available at the time, so I took it. But when I went back over my life, and I said, wow, when I worked at this stable, what that gentleman taught me was organization. You understand? So,
even in there.
Even there.
Right.
Everything had a place. Everything should go from this to there. You understand?
Right.
So I got organization. There was a situation where I worked with a chemical company. He taught me sales. They taught me how to go out and sell product. I worked in several different hospitals and the janitorial, custodial area of. And because many times those were the jobs that you could get, because the turnover was high, the pay wasn't really there. So you understand. So those were a lot of times the jobs that was available for me, and I could go in there. So, but through that process, I learned a trade. They taught me how to strip floors. They taught me how to organize and prepare to go out and clean a building. So I have those skills. So at the end of the day, when I was clean, when I got clean, I took everything that God had given me, because He was still feeding me knowledge and wisdom in certain areas. I took all of those things and put them together, and today I have a successful janitorial service but it was established from bits and pieces
Right.
throughout my life. I wouldn't have realized that if I did not go back and look over my life and say, wow, I learned that from this person. I learned that from this person. So I say that to say, you know, everybody have something to give. Mm-hmm. You know, if it's just teaching some young kid, just be responsible, be on time. Mm-hmm. Just be on time.
Right.
Just give them that
mm-hmm.
one thing. You know, you may not change their whole life, but if you can teach that one child, you know, be responsible. If you say you're going to do something, do that. You know, so it's really amazing when you take the time out to reflect over your life. And I don't think a lot of people have looked back as far and as in detail as I have to realize, like, wow, God, you was in the midst of everything, whether it was good or bad, you were still present. Right. You were still blessing me, even in the midst of the storm. I was like, it's amazing.
Yeah, and you said a lot within that, but one of the things that I want to elaborate on was the part where you reflected back. And that's a lot of times, like you say, people don't reflect back. People feel as though their past have been so harsh and has brought them so much pain and so much hurt. Mm-hmm. They refuse to look back.
Right.
But it's important to look back, because in order for you to get to the next process, you got to realize that part of your past is still a part of your future. Mm-hmm. And in order for you to move into your future, you need to take a little bit of that past and bring it along with you. You can't go through your life and erase all of the bad and keep all of the good. Yes. It takes the good as well as the bad. And like you say, it's important for us to look back and reflect. And your story is so amazing, because you say you took all these little bits and all these little pieces, right, and you put them together. And that's actually the way life is. I always use the example, life is like a puzzle. Mm-hmm. And you can only put a puzzle together a piece at a time. Right. You know, and you don't see the ultimate. You can take the box and look at the puzzle, and you can already see the picture. Also, you say, oh man, this is going to be so pretty. This is going to be a nice picture of this puzzle. Right. But it won't actually be reality until you put the last piece in place. That's to right. where you have completed the process.
You know, it's back in the 80s, you know, rap music came out, and, you know, this hip hop thing was real strong, and I was a rapper. I was like a lot of the young men today. You know, I thought
you were a rapper too.
I was a rapper too. It's all in the book. You know, I was trying to get my little rap deal, you know, my little record deal back in the day.
Wow.
But you know, one of the raps that I wrote was reflection of your childhood is the way you live your manhood. And okay. And it's amazing that that was a song that I wrote, that, you know, and it's so true. It has a lot to do with it, you know. It has a lot to do with it, you know. I just wanted to throw that in there because, you know, that was written, I mean, back in the 80s, or, you know, about mid-80s, and here I am today. You know, I never would have thought that would have been relevant to anything in my life when I wrote it back then.
When you wrote it back then?
I wrote it back then.
So, in other words, when it all boils down to, life brings us all to a full scale.
Yeah.
Out of all of the things that we go through and the things that we inspire, have brought you to this point where you say you got a successful janitorial service. Yes. And I mean, it is so unique, because a lot of people right now, they're trying to figure out, what's my purpose? What actually am I supposed to do? They may not have been able to finish high school, or some are not able to go to college. But you look back over your life, there is something that the Lord has ordained for you to do if yes. you can just reflect right. back over your life and find that little nugget, because it's there.
It's there.
And sometimes, I've used this illustration before, sometimes things can be so close to us we can't see them. Mm. You know?
I understand exactly what you're saying.
Right. You know, it's so close to you to where you can't see it.
Right.
You know, and sometimes what we have to do in life is we have to distance ourselves and, like you said, reflect back. And it's like a person that's walking down the road. You know, you may drop something, mm-hmm. and you may not realize you dropped it. Mm-hmm. And in order for you to find it, you have to do what? You have to go back and retrace your path.
That's right.
In order to see it.
That's right.
It could have been right there beside you, but you didn't see it. Why? Because you was too close to it.
Right.
But when you went back and reflected back and put some distance between you and that situation, the very thing that you thought you didn't have, you actually really had.
It's within you, you know, and
Right.
that's what I had to do. Even with this story, Whose Will, you know, even with this story, Whose Will, I had to go inside to get this book published and get this story out. The story was inside of me, and I believe that there are a lot of people that have stories and have dreams and have successful business and have many opportunities, and it's within them. And a lot of times they miss it because they're looking around trying to find their destiny, or they're trying to find it. They're looking on the outside, but it's really in the inside. It's an inside out job.
Right.
You know, and people miss that many times because they spend a lot of time searching, or not even searching, or comparing themselves.
Right.
To other people,
Right. I was just.
I want to be like that. I want to be him. I want to be him.
Right.
Well, you'll never be him. God already made that person.
Right.
You know, and it's amazing. It's amazing. I had a young lady that helped me with the story, and they would always compare. I want to be like. She was also a screenwriter, and they would always say, I want to be like Tyler Perry. Well, you can't be like Tyler Perry. If you spend all your time measuring yourself to Tyler Perry, you'll probably fail.
Right.
You may be bigger than Tyler Perry.
Right.
You know, but you're measuring yourself to someone else. You need to focus on you and be who God meant for you to be, so you can have what God meant for you to have.
Yeah.
That's just real simple to me.
Yeah, and that's real good, because like you said, people are looking on the outside and they see things the way they want to, that's impressive.
Yes.
Or I want to be this, I want to be that. When you say the whole key to your destiny lies within you. And until you can tap into that, you'll live your whole life searching for who you're supposed to be, when you don't even have to actually search at all. All you got to do is just tap into you.
That's correct.
So we're going to go ahead and we're going to go to commercial, and we're going to be right back with my guests right after this.